Today's topic is how to study in medical school part 4, how to study for step 2 CK. So I'm going to give you advice that I got from other peers as well as my own experience on step 2 CK. So first advice is I got from an individual who did exceptionally well, got multiple interviews in plastics and general surgery. So this individual did UWorld 3 times, twice during a third-year core rotation, and then once more during dedicated study time, which was about 3-4 weeks. Along with UWorld, he watched Online Med Ed 2 times during his core rotation. And then what he also did was any question that he kept getting wrong or didn't understand, he made an Anki deck for those questions. So that's his advice. He did super well. I mean, it's a little crazy. That's a little bit too excessive, but you know what? He got amazing interviews. So that's my first advice. My second advice is from another individual who scored above 30 points. And her trick, her advice was she did Online Med Ed twice. So she watched it during her dedicated third-year core rotation, and then she watched it again during her dedicated study time, as well as she did UWorld, I believe, 2 times. So she did super well. Her score jumped, and she got multiple interviews in OB-GYN residency. The next advice is my own, and I did pretty well on my exam as well. I got over 17 interviews in internal medicine, and what I did was I did UWorld 3 times, once during my third-year rotation, and then twice during my dedicated study time. So I did it once during my third-year rotation, and as I was doing those questions, I made flashcards out of them. So by the time I was done with third year, I had a box of flashcards. There were over 2,000 cards in there. So then what I did was I reset UWorld. I did the questions again for the second time, and then I did it the third time, but only the questions that I got wrong, because there must be a reason why I'm getting a question wrong for the third time. So I just reviewed those, made flashcards of those, and really try to understand the concept. If I did not understand it, what I did was I went on UpToDate, and I just looked it up and read about it more to really solidify the information. So Online Med Ed, UWorld multiple times, flashcards for spatial repetition, those 3. I actually found another advice online, and it's actually pretty genius what this gentleman did. He scored above 280 on his step 2 CK. So what he did was he did UWorld for step 2 CK 3 times, and then what he also did was he purchased UWorld step 3, and he did that 2 times, which is pretty brilliant, I would think. You know, like, if you know this by now, you know UWorld is the closest that can get to the actual board exam, the actual step exam. So why not do UWorld multiple times? And not just do it multiple times, why don't you, it makes more sense to just purchase the next level of the step questions. So doing the UWorld step 2 CK 3 times, and then the UWorld step 3 2 times, and there are not a lot of questions on the step 3. It's about like 1,500 questions or something. So if anything, I would advise you is purchase the step 3 as well, and do step 3 questions along with your step 2 CK UWorld questions. And how would you do that? You want to first do it in categories. So do all the cardiovascular questions of the UWorld step 2 CK, and then all the cardiovascular questions of the UWorld step 3. So do all the cardios together, do all the respiratory together, the GI, etc., whatever. And then after that, go back, do it as a mix. And then finally, with the ones that you get wrong, that would be your third attempt again to review the questions. So that is pretty smart. I highly recommend that you do that. I do want to say that when I left the Prometrics, when I took my Step 2 CK, I actually felt really, really good because UWorld, like, I mean, they prepare you. Like, I have so much respect for UWorld. I'm not getting paid for it, by the way. You know, just a disclaimer, I'm not getting paid by UWorld for complimenting them here and trying to sell that, but UWorld definitely prepared me for Step 2. I felt the questions were so similar, like close to identical, so I felt really good after I left the exam. Besides that, that's pretty much it, guys. Online Med Ed, UWorld, and reviewing your concepts. What I also did was I like the charts and the algorithm in UWorld. So what I did was I just I would whiteboard it. So you know, I have a little whiteboard, and I would just whiteboard it over and over again. Not only that, I was actually super obnoxious with my family. I would recreate those charts, and then I would just post it all over my house. So wherever I walked, it's like there's some medical knowledge that I could just look at, absorb, and you know, I felt it was pretty productive. So in my room, I had on the wall just a bunch of notes and charts and whatever. So it's something that I always look at the beginning of the day and then at the end of the day, as well as everywhere else in my house. Besides that, that's pretty much it, guys. There's no magic way of going about studying for Step 2 CK. It's literally just doing UWorld and reviewing it every day. Up to Date is a great resource for things that you need some clarification on, so I recommend Up to Date. I mean, there's so many resource books out there, which is fine if that's what works for you, but I just used Up to Date because it was free through the hospital that I was rotating through. Besides that, that's it, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Let me know what you think, and I wish you guys all the best. You can definitely, CK was fine, guys. You will do fine on there. Just believe in yourself. What you think is what you become, guys. So just know that. Work, you know, diligently, and you're gonna be so successful. Okay, thank you. Bye.